What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. You haven't missed much. I've had a few other jobs and stuff that I've got to get done, so I've just been doing them this morning, but we are getting the number plate board done. I think I know what I'm doing, I think. So all I've done is I've got my template, I've chopped him out. I don't know about putting these dimpled holes in it. I mean, this is like 1.4, I want to say. It's actually quite tough stuff. So I think by the time I get the edges rolled over and that, and it's all, you know, the corners is welded up, it's actually going to be really, really strong. I can't see that being an issue. But the other thing is, if I was to put two holes in here and then dimple them, and this is on the back of your number plate that sits like that, crap and stuff off the back wheel is just going to go in the holes, and it's going to sit between the number plate and this thing. So one, it'll look just poo, and it's going to, you know, it's going to collect stuff. So all I've done is I've drawn a line 7mm in, which is about as bloody close as I can get it. Yeah, it's only just going to catch. You know, try and roll the edges. I want to see if I can go around the corners here. I don't know if that's going to be doable. I might have to put some slots into the, you know, the radiuses there and then weld them up and dress them in afterwards. I don't really know, because you are asking it to come up quite a bit. But we'll see. I've got some little reliefs in this corner, just because I know I'm going to need it there. We'll just give it a go and see what happens. Right, let's do the straight one first. Start easy, eh? Right, so he's on my line. Come on. And it's just a case of keeping the edge of the die on that line as you wheel it through as straight as you possibly can do. I'm no expert. Oh, you cock. Well, that didn't work very well, did it? Alright, let's give that another go. Gets that bit, it just wants to come off. Maybe this is where that stupid guide thing comes in, eh? That could be an idea, actually. Right, but he's chucking it down with raid again. This is what we're getting so far. Where are you? So you see I'm getting a nice little bend in there. This is obviously waste material here, that's all going to get trimmed off. So it is dishing out a little bit. Trouble is, it's the waste material. Where are you? It's the waste material that goes a little bit wibbly wobbly. The bit that I'm keeping is pretty much straight. There is a tiny bit sort of at my start and stop points. The trouble I've got is where you get into the corners. Trying to get the thing to lay over is not easy. I have slit the corners just to sort of help the metal have somewhere to go, and I'm thinking I might be getting the tipping wheel out. Let me have a look at dies. Right, the camera is being proper lame. Are you still recording, actually? Yes, you are. Awesome. Right, I've got the tipping dies on here now. I don't know if I got them around the right way, but we're give this a go. In fact, I'm convinced I've got it the wrong way around. You're supposed to go that way. Oh yeah? I don't know. We'll give this a go. So, few little changes. I've notched out the corners, so basically took a square out. Just because that way I should have somewhere for this all to go. Because where it was getting to the corners was then sort of rolling back up over the bit that you've just done, and it was all deforming. So following my original crease line again, just this time using a tipping wheel, and he's going to be a complete cock when I get to folding this up a little bit more, but it seems to be doing all right. convinced I've got these wheels the wrong way around. And what I'll do is I'll go around each of them just now, so at least they all get the same sort of fold in them. Then I'll switch my wheels around to what I think should be right, and then we'll have another go. Yeah, because as these corners close up, it's all going to get a bit snug. Right, it's sort of working, it's sort of bringing it all in. I just want to bring it in more. I'm so tempted just to stick it in a vice and bash it. Right, let's switch these round. Alright, there we go, it's loose anyway. And we'll have another go. Right, the bead roller just wasn't working. It's brilliant, I've been mucking about, and it's brilliant for putting putting a bead into the middle of a panel and stiffening it up, but just rolling an edge over like this, I'm just finding all sorts of troubles with it. So I'm back to a method that I know. So I've got it basically clamped between two big old bits of steel, and I'm just going to hit it. I could spend ages cocking about with that thing and kind of get something near what I needed, but I just don't think it's really worth it. Not now. It will come into its own, I'm sure, and I've got plans for using it elsewhere on this anyway, but that's going to be to literally put a bead into the middle of a panel. So this will do for now. Right, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. This is what I've done so far. So you can see it's got like a rolled edge all the way around it, apart from this side. I've trimmed it all so it's all nice and flat, although I do have a little bit of fluff to get rid of down there. But it's all the same height all the way around, just marked it off on a bit of flat with a Sharpie and then ground it down to that line. I really do need to get those burrs gone though. But even just that little return that you see there makes this thing properly bloody stiff. He's not going anywhere. And I want this to be stiff because when you put a number plate on it, and obviously you're going down the road and there's like vibration and wind and everything, I don't want the number plate flapping about. So that's all good. Marked the centre line on my tube, centre line on this. So he is going to get stuck on in line with that, so he's nicely in the middle. We just got to space it up, and I'm probably just going to stitch weld it from the back side. So we'll have one in the corner. Where's my Sharpie? So when I come to work, because I want all this to be quite nice and neat. I want that to just marry up to it and not have a fillet weld in this bit here. So all I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll stitch it in the corner, something like that, then another one there, another one there, and another one in this corner. It doesn't need to be fully seam welded or anything else, that's just pointless. And you put loads of heat into it, it's not going to thank you for it, and you've got to dress it all back again afterwards. I could seam weld it, I don't know, I'll have to think about it, but that can happen when I come to doing all the finished welding on the bike as well, because I've still got stuff to do on the front. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. So now, any holes that need putting in it now. So I need to have 2 up here for the little number plate lights. Where are they? These things. So I need 2 holes in there and there, just so they've got somewhere to go. I'm not going to mount them into the tube. And then I'm also going to need to have 2 holes in the back of the tube here for the cables from this to disappear into the tube. Because I need to get them from about there to about here, where it disappears up underneath the, you know, up underneath into the seat area and stuff. I don't want to have them sort of drooping down halfway along. So we're going to shift them over a bit. So there will be some holes going in here. Although I suppose, oh, do I need them? Because I've got the indicator going in the end. So there's going to be cables coming out for that as well as those number plate lights. So they might as well all come out in the same place, and I'll just keep them to as far to the edge as I can do. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. So, need some holes in here. How big are you? See, that's going to work, isn't it? Isn't it? Right, so basically I still need to round these over. I don't know, can you, well, it's just like a little tab and it's got a threaded M5 hole in it, which is fine. And these is going to get shoved either end of this. So one there, one the other end, all right? And then off the frame on the back of the bike is going to be another plate that is obviously this radius, and it will be welded to the frame. It's going to have a clearance hole in it for that thread, And the idea is that the lights is going to go in the end, the indicators is going to go in the end, obviously, with some sort of shroud or whatever that I've yet to make up because I'm running out of time. That's all going to pass through this plate on the end, which is welded to the frame, and then a little screw from the outside is going to go through the outer plate and screw into this plate, and that will stop the whole rotation. So it's going to be clamped at either end. And then it's just going to be held in position with these little tabs, which I need to round over. I think what I'm probably going to do is do the tabs that weld onto the frame next, because that way I can drill my clearance hole, bolt it to those little tabs, and then I can stick it all onto the bar and tack it all in place and get it all absolutely straight, because I don't want one like that and one like that. That would be really bad. But it's going to have to wait. Time has gone 4:30. I need to go and get stuff for dinner, and then I need to cook it. And Sam is still poorly, bless her, with COVID, which is all my fault. So I'm cooking dinner. So anyway, I'll be back. I'm back. Right, it's Monday. What was I doing? Oh, frame tabs. Right, that ain't gonna work. All that effort and I'm chucking it in the bin. Well, I'm not chucking all of it in the bin. So the idea was, let me show you. So there you can see the bar with the tabs. These are the holes where the indicator lights go in, and that's the hole where all the wires come out and then disappear up under the seat. So that was going to sit something like that ish. So the wires would just come out here, go in there, everything will pop out here. The wires for the indicators will pop out there as well. It'll all just disappear up underneath the seat unit. So that's it. The only trouble is, I'll put these tabs on the back, these ones here. To get any decent sort of threads into them, you really want it sort of like 4 or 5 mil deep at least. So the idea is that the indicators clamp the centre tube in place, and then those tabs would stop rotation, so this would be held where it needs to be held. The trouble is, to get those tabs in there, it all has to stand, you know, a lot further away from the back of the seat unit that I would really like, and it looks a bit cheesy. Let me show you. Right, so that realistically is how it would sit. And that is quite a long way off here. And you can see all this gubbins, and I don't like it. I mean, it would, you know, it would do the do, but it could be better. Right, so, don't like it. I mean, it would work, it's just that it stands out a long way. I just think it would look a bit, don't really know. And I don't like that you can see that from the back as well, that little tab, because it's sort of stepped. Yes, you could shape it up to the underside of the frame and sort of close the gap and everything else, but it needs to be that thick to take that screw. So I need to come up with a way of essentially redoing that bit, but that means I've also got to redo this bit. So this is what I'm thinking about doing. That there. I will get a picture and show it to you, but essentially what I'm thinking about doing is opening this hole up. So the OD of this is like 3/4 inch, so call it 19mm. So if I was to open this up, so I could get like a, I don't know how big that insert is. See, he's like 16mm insert, so I'm probably talking doing a 14mm insert. 14mm thread-ish, something like that. 14mm. See, that's bloody tight, isn't it? And but if I was to come down to 12, oh, we could do 12. Right, okay. So we'll scrap that one. It's not M14. That's going to be M12. This is all going to be very snug and tight, but I reckon it'll work. So what I'm going to do is to drill that out and put an M12 tap in it. So I've got an M12 thread in each end. And then the idea is that I'm going to remake this tab. So that hole will get opened up. I'm just going to remake another one because this has got a stupid hole in it now. But he's going to go on there with a 12.5mm like clearance hole for basically another boss that I'm going to make. So if I get an M12, have I got an M12 bolt? Let me have a quick look. Must have an M12 bolt somewhere. What have we got in here? What's that? Actually, what is that? No, that's a 10. He's a 10. Well, I can't find one. This will have to do for now, just to show you what I mean. Imagine that is an M12, not an M10. What I want to do is to machine the head of it down. So I've probably got like 3mm, I would think. Maybe 4mm. 4mm, probably. So we take him down to 4mm, put a couple of spanner flats on it. And then I'm going to drill a hole through the length of it and put an M8x1 tap through that, which is what this thread here is. So the idea is that this will go through the new frame jobby that I'm going to make that will be stuck onto the frame. And I'll be able to clamp it in here and do it up proper tight. So this isn't going to rotate. That does away with the need to have this little locking tab. Because I can get him properly snug and tight and stuff in there, so that'll all be good. So he ain't going to move anywhere. And then with the hole through here with the M8x1, this thing will screw into. So it'll screw into the end of that, and we'll just have some sort of nice dressy up, you know, alley thing that takes it from, what did I say, 19mm to 32mm. I don't know what it'll be. It'll probably be a bit like a top hat with a radius to it or something like that. But I need to, I'm going to go home and just like draw this up and make sure I know what the clearances and stuff like that is going to be. And I think that is what I'm going to be doing. I think, because this looks a bit clunky. This looks homemade, and I don't want it to look homemade. I want it to look like it's supposed to be that way, and you know, not factory, but do you know what I mean? I don't want bits stuck on it like this. This would work, it'd be perfectly functional, but it just looks cheesy. And I'm not doing cheesy. I want to hide as many fixings as I can. So I reckon that is how I'm going to be doing it. I might even be able to do the shroud so it covers up the head of this bolt. I don't know. I'm going to go home and play with CAD. and just, if I can model it up and see it, and see what my clearances are and all that sort of stuff, and how much room I've got for threads and blah-de-blah-de-blah, then we're in. It could mean that I need to go slightly bigger on the tube, which I don't really want to do. But until I model it up, I'm not really going to know. So, unfortunately, for the number plate mounting, there is going to be a part 3, which is bloody annoying because I wanted this done today. But it's got to be right. It's got to be right. So anyway, that's what I'm going to leave it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you're well and staying safe, and we will see you on the next one. Laters!